It was a Sunday afternoon, and Edmund and Rosemary decided to go for a walk around their neighborhood in Brooklyn. Immediately, something terrible happened. A woman was right in front of them, talking loudly on her cell phone. Rosemary wanted to briskly pass her, but the loud woman lumbered on slowly, blocking Edmund and Rosemary's way. Rosemary scowled at her, but of course the woman didn't notice, which made Rosemary even madder. There is nothing worse than an ignored scowl. Or is there? When we think of any epic quest, like the Odyssey, Narnia, The Lord of the Rings, a modern annoyance seems trivial. But unlike the classics, this author crafts a painfully familiar contemporary adventure, leading to a most unexpected place. Edmund and Rosemary Go to Hell by Bruce Eric Kaplan. I don't know why everyone's always on a cell phone. Not everyone, but indeed, everyone was. They decided to go to the movies. They ran through the streets, trying to avoid all the people on their cell phones. When they finally got there, they realized that for years they'd been going to the movies out of habit, denying to themselves how horrible movies had become. As they walked home, Edmund said, "Come to think of it, music has become wretched too. And theater and art hasn't been good for at least 50 years. Art really stinks. The pop movement was particularly stupid." It felt good to finally say out loud. As if Edmund and Rosemary had suddenly woken up from a dream, they noticed that everything around them had become terrible. Whenever you called any business whatsoever, you heard a strange automated voice on the other end of the telephone. There were no more nice stores, only big chains that refused to give people health insurance and where you could never find anything. Edmund insisted the big stores didn't even have what you wanted. They only had what you didn't want. No one built nice houses anymore. People all sit around in coffee shops, saying they're writers. And worst of all, perhaps, was the traffic. Not that you want to go any place, but if you did, you wouldn't get there because of the traffic. This is why I'm always saying we should live in the middle of nowhere. Rosemary pointed out that even in the middle of nowhere, where there was nothing and no one, there was still traffic. Some food is still good. What about organic food? Organic food is a total lie, and you know it. And Edmund did know it. Like everything else, organic food had been co-opted by the corporations, which were utterly and completely evil. I just lost. Sorry. Oh, okay. Listen to me. Edmund was having one of his epiphanies. There's only one explanation for why everything is so terrible. We are in hell. The place. Oh, please, why would I be in hell? I'm a good person. Edmund listed a few things Rosemary had done that could have made her eligible for hell. The next day, Edmund seemed out of sorts. I'm very depressed about being in hell. I have to go get my computer repaired. At the store, the little technician scoffed at how old her computer was. I just bought this 3 years ago. Nothing lasts longer than 3 years. Rosemary remembered how her mother had had the same vacuum cleaner her entire adult life. It's true, we really are in hell. Really? Edmund said, delighted he was right, but sad about being in hell. If it is true, then we should be able to get some proof. So they decided to go to the government. They began with the local councilman. He put them in touch with their governor. He put them in touch with their senator. She put them in touch with an anonymous high-ranking official. He denied any reports that this was hell, as Edmund and Rosemary knew he would, because the first instinct of all politicians is to lie. They applied some pressure. And finally he squawked, because he was a spineless little weasel, like all politicians. He told them everyone in the government was in on it. That was why they were always so slow and annoying. I want to give you something, said the anonymous, high-ranking official, and handed Edmund an envelope. Edmund quickly gave it to Rosemary to open, in case it was a bomb. It wasn't. It was a lottery ticket. That's what we do when people find out they're in hell. We don't like this hell stuff to get around, bad PR, you know. This ensures you won't talk. Now, if if you'll excuse me, I have to go create some false reasons for road work. So there'll be a lot more traffic. 5 days later, they won the lottery. At first, they had some fun with the 342 million! Then things went back to normal, as sadly they always do. Knowing without a doubt they were in hell made Edmund and Rosemary a little edgy. Just forgot what my line was.
Edmund sought solace.
Oh, cool. Edmund sought solace in exercising maniacally, while Rosemary drank, as was her way. But neither activity helped. One night, Edmund came home from the gym, put on his stupid little gym bag, and began to weep. "This isn't working." Rosemary slurred something he didn't quite hear, but he took it that she agreed. Then they remembered that Rosemary's friend Beth went to a hypnotist who she swore was a genius who could do anything. After 4 appointments, they both still felt edgy and gave up on hypnosis. Rosemary commented that whenever anyone says someone is a genius who can do anything, it means he or she is an idiot who can do nothing at all. In desperation, they went to a breathing workshop, which was embarrassing because they'd both been breathing for quite some time without one. There must be a way out. I think it's over there. No, I mean someplace in hell there must be an exit. And we can get to heaven. I'm sure of it. It's just a matter of finding out where it is and going there. When they got home, Rosemary did a little research, and 20 minutes later, she came back. "You can get to heaven from someplace in Arizona. I gotta figure out what to wear," Rosemary said, which was confusing because she needed to dress for both Arizona and heaven. The airports were a disaster and provided the most proof of all that they were in hell. When finally they arrived in Arizona, they wandered and wandered, but didn't see anything that looked as if it could lead to heaven. Then a group of tourists walked. Then a group of people from a resort walked by. They asked if Edmund and Rosemary were lost. Actually, Rosemary said very casually, because she knew that no one ever gives you what you want if they know you really want it. "Would you happen to know how to get to heaven?" "Oh, they moved that. If you want, I can tell you where they moved it. 1 plane, 2 buses, a rental car, and 4 days later, Edmund and Rosemary were in a jungle halfway around the world." They spent hours searching, but once again couldn't find what they were looking for. Edmund kicked a vine in frustration, but it just lay there. He bent down to throw the vine when suddenly he saw it. He laughed and excitedly began running towards it. He was halfway through when he realized Rosemary wasn't next to him. "What are you doing? What's going on?" "I'm starving. I'm sorry, but I have to go back to the hotel and get a snack before I go to heaven." "Are you scared?" "Look, maybe it's all perfect up there and there's eternal peace, but I'm just not ready. I want to go back to our room and order a parfait." "You don't want eternal peace?" "It's not for me, but you go." "I'm not going to heaven by myself." "No, honestly, you should go." "I'm not going to heaven if you're not going to heaven." Rosemary knew he meant it. The one fear she had not said out loud was that if they went to heaven, their relationship might be altered in some way. Maybe couples weren't really couples anymore. Or perhaps you got reincarnated. What if Edmund became a coyote and Rosemary became a chicken? No! She couldn't risk losing exactly what she had now with Edmund. After they settled back into life in Brooklyn, it was surprising how little they talked about how they were in hell. Eventually, they even stopped thinking about it. Thank you.
That was so awkward.
It's fine. 9:36, including the pauses. That's good.